Today we will first talk about genetic code, then we will talk about protein translation of that code. So what does this genetic code mean? Genetic code, these are the code, yeah, you see the code, these are like words, a code that is present on mRNA. If somebody asks you what is genetic code, so you have to mention mRNA. So the code that is some code. I'm not going to talk about that code right now. I will explain that. But some code word or some code words are there on the mRNA. So these are called genetic code. These are the code that give rise to that, actually that carries that meaning of this code is the amino acid. Okay, these are they are the code on the mRNA. So this code means a particular code means particular amino acids. So if somebody asks you where is codon present, you have to tell them this codon is present on mRNA. That is why this is called messenger, because messenger, this is messenger RNA, because it carries the code for protein, and that is why this is called messenger RNA. So we will talk about this code that is present on this mRNA, and we decipher our body decipher this code, make the meaning of this code, break the code, and this code is broken down into protein. So this process of conversion, this process of giving meaning to this code is called translation. You know, the general meaning of translation is also, if you translate from like English, if you convert some sentence from English to Spanish, this is what is called translation, or Spanish to Hindi. So this is what is called is translation. So this process of converting code into meaningful amino acids, this process of conversion of code into meaningful amino acids, this process is called translation. And that is why, so in order to understand this translation, we need to know about this code. What are these code? How, what, which type of code meaning which amino acid? So which code means which amino acid? So we need to understand about this code. If we understand about the code that are present on mRNA, then we will understand translation. So did you understand till now? No. You can see. Yes, you can reply. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Where is genetic code present? So it is present on mRNA, messenger mRNA. So we have already done the process replication, then we have done transcription. So transcription from genetic, actually the main source of genetic code is DNA, is the main source of genetic code. But you don't have, you should not answer when somebody asks you the codon is present where? Where is codon present? So you have to answer codon is present on mRNA, not on DNA, because after this mRNA being translated, mRNA will be processed, and that processing, after processing only, what is deciphered is called codon. So codon we call on mRNA. Though the source of mRNA is, though the source of codon is this DNA, there is codon is there. This master piece of codon are present in DNA, but codon we call when this it is transferred to this messenger mRNA, we call them codon. Okay, because it will be continuously, it will carry meaning. Here meaning words will be there. If you consider a codon as word, here words will be there, but words will be discrete. Some words are here, some words will be here, like in the form of exon. So they are not continuous, but here words are continuous. Then if the words are continuous, then you can make out the sentence, meaning of the sentence. So just remember, I will use the code or codon in for word in English, as you It is like word in English, word of any language. So codon is like word of any language. It is equivalent to word of any language. So I will use this analogy, codon as word. Now you can see here DNA converts into mRNA. And DNA, it is very easily conceivable things, because DNA is also nucleic acid and RNA is also nucleic acid. That is why DNA will easily convert into nucleic acid. That is conceivable. But it's very difficult for scientists. It was very difficult for scientists. How does this nucleic acid convert into a very different type of compound that is called protein? So this is a very big problem, and this problem was solved after 1960s. So the problem of this transcription replication, it was solved in between 1950s. In 1950s only it was solved, but it took many times. It took time to solve the problem between how this translation happens, how this code converts into meaning. So this took next decade, 1960s. In 1960s this was discovered, and this, it is called central dogma. So let's see, as I have already told you, this both are nucleic acid, but the conversion, this translation process, the deciphering of this code, how this code get meaning, it took 10 years to find out those all translation process for scientists. So the scientists, what did scientists found? Scientists first found tRNA. They did not know about this codon initially. They did find about tRNA, and they find that tRNA has a very important role in protein synthesis, giving meaning to, this is the translator. tRNA are the translator. They found as the tRNA are the translator. So they found what translates. They found the person who translates this code, these words, but they did not know how does this tRNA translate this code into meaning of protein. For this, they did work for 10 years, about 10 years, and then they found this connection. So we will study in only 2 classes, the whole things of 10 years. So see how amazing, how much time we are saving right now. So you can understand by that. You can see this tRNA will attach with this mRNA, and then mRNA code of this mRNA will be read by this tRNA, and this will give a meaning that is called protein. So let's see how this discovery happened. Now, when they found that there are codons, okay, there are codons. They found that there are codons on mRNA. mRNA are required for protein translation, and they found that tRNA mediates that. And they also find that there are 20 amino acids that are present in proteins. So how does this 20 amino acid decipher the code? Because the code here are nucleotide. They knew that code are nucleotide. Nucleotide has only 4 types of bases. So they combined. They did permutation combination. So words should be composed of this codon, means I'm using this codon means word. So word of this mRNA is made up of how many letters? How many nucleotide letters? Here I'm calling to nucleotides. So how many letters will make the code? They actually think over that. Now they assume that if we assume that one, there are only 4 types of word, 4 types of letters, 4 types of letters. If we think that the word is made up of 1 letter, this 1 letter, then there will be only 4 possibilities. But our body has 20 amino acids. How can it be possible? Now, then again they combine this 2 letter and assume that there may be the 2 letter might be forming, 2 letters might be forming a words. So if you make this 2 letter, it come out to be 16 possibilities only. So but amino acid is 20. So how can this 16 possibilities, 16 word can give meaning to this 20 amino acid? Now third possibility is, if you assume that the word is made up of 3 letters. If you assume that word is made up of 3 letters, then scientists got 64 possibilities. How? 4 are the letters, and if 4 letters, if it is made up of 3 letters, if the word is made up of these 3 letters, there are 4 letters, the possibility will be 4, 4 and 4. 64 possibilities will be there if you assume that word formed by 3 letters. So you can make 64 words out of 4 letters. You can make 64 letters, 64 words out of 4 letters. So now this was accepted. Okay, there must be 3-letter words. These words, these codons must be 3 letters. Then they conceived that way. So now they actually did first. What does scientists do? Scientists first actually hypothesize something based on some evidences. They made hypothesis of that the word must be formed by these 3 letters, 3-letter words. These codons are nothing but codons are 3-letter words. They words based on this possibility thinking, they hypothesized that these are 3-letter words. Now these 3-letter words, they have to prove experimentally until something hypothesis, if it is not proven by experimentation, that hypothesis is rejected. So what did this this scientist Marshall Nirenberg? So he actually did he spent about a decade on finding on deciphering this mRNA to protein. So he did a sequence of experiment. He actually synthesized some mRNA made up of poly-U chain, and he also made an mRNA made up of poly-A chain, poly-C chain, and poly-G chain. When he made an mRNA and he made an experimental protein translation in lab, protein translation machinery in test tube, he extracted RNA and did everything. So that will helpful for protein translation. Whatever ingredient required for protein transcription, he extracted from Escherichia coli, E. coli, and he put into the test tube and he did experimentation. And when he did experimentation, what he found is this poly-U. When poly-U mRNA is given into this test tube, what he got is polyphenylalanine protein was. He got polyphenylalanine. When he put poly-C, he got polyproline. When he put poly-A, he got polylysine. And then when he put poly-G, he got polyglycine. So you can, from this, he concluded that this phenylalanine should be the codon. The codon, this word, UUU word, this meaning of this UU word is phenylalanine. So phenylalanine is codon for word for this UUU, triple U is word for phenylalanine. Triple C is the word for proline. Triple A is the word for lysine. Triple J is the word for glycine. So he first found out this four set of 4 codon. He found out this 4 word meaning of these 4 words. He found out the meaning of these 4 codons. UUU codons, UUE for phenylalanine, CCC for proline, and AAA for lysine, and GGG for glycine. So he found 4 meaning of this 4 codon. Then after that he did experiment. He combined many of this combination of nucleotide, and then he found many different. He actually deciphered this codon for other amino acid as well. Now he did, you can see a series of experiment. He did a series of experiment utilizing UC. So UC, repeat of UC. So he did repeat of this UC. So you can see here you will get UCU. Here UCU and CUC. You will get UCU and CUC. And then from UCU he got serine. And then CUC he got leucine. And that is how he found out he actually decoded. He actually decoded all the codons, and he found out this all amino acid. He actually decoded all the codons. He cracked the all code that is present in mRNA, and this code he actually kept this all code by forming this table, and this is called genetic code. This is called genetic code. You can see this is called genetic code. Now what he found is, let me talk about, he found, so you can see this. Okay, so you already know this protein translation happens on ribosome, and he found that protein translation happens in ribosome, and then in ribosome this 3 nucleotide of 3 forms a codon. The 3 nucleotide will form a word, a codon, and that codon will be decoded by this anticodon that is present on this tRNA. So this is how decoding will happen, deciphering will happen, decoding or deciphering will happen. This is how amino acid tRNA is very important for deciphering. So you can see this is how this one tRNA will carry a specific type of amino acid. When it binds to this codon, it will actually this codon will give meaning to this amino acid. This codon will give meaning to this amino acid. So you can see GUC and CUC both will give the meaning to leucine. So we will talk about the, now he from his experiment he gave 5 very important characteristics of genetic code, and this is very important. This characteristic of genetic code, understanding of this characteristic of genetic code is very important. What I talked to till now, I made actually foundation. How people, I made a foundation so that you will understand this genetic code better. So how you will understand how people actually worked for a decade to actually decode these all genetic codon from mRNA. So this, from after decoding, they actually gave this 5 features. So they found that this genetic code are very similar to the word of the language. They are very similar to words of the language. You know, a word has many synonyms. A word has many synonyms. But the word, one word will carry one meaning. Though English have many, sometimes it can have many meaning, but this word always has one word have one meaning. One meaning. And if you write a sentence, if you, let's say, if you, this is also a sentence, write a sentence. So do you think this sentence, the words are overlapping here? Tell me. If you overlap this word, will you understand the sentence?
No.
No, you cannot. So these words are non-overlapping here. The words in the sentence are non-overlapping here. But in genetic code, it has been established that there are 3-letter words. So here in English, we have the words per words letter, the number of letter may change, but here the number of letter is always fixed. 3-letter. These are 3-letter words. So always genetic codon is 3-letter word. So this is one characteristic that I have not mentioned here. Okay, 3-letter words. These words are 3-letter, and these words have many synonyms. That means they are degenerate. Okay, they are degenerate. Many synonyms. They have many synonyms. One means one amino acid. One amino acid. Amino acid 1 can have many codon. Okay, it can have 2 to 6 codon. It can have 2 to 6 codon. So one amino acid. What is meaning here? Meaning means amino acid. So one meaning, but one meaning, one amino acid will have many synonyms. So this is called degenerate. Degenerate means repetition. So for one amino acid, many codons can be there. So this is synonyms. You can correlate with the synonyms. For one meaning, there can be many synonyms. And then second is ambiguous. But see, when one word carries meaning, though there will be four words for one meaning, but all will have same meaning. This will not have one. If you take one word, that one word will have single meaning. Okay? If you take the word, this word, it will have single meaning. Did you understand this? GG, 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 C, GG, U, GG, A. All these are words. Okay? These words have, these are synonymous. The meaning is glycine. Okay? These are synonymous. The meaning is glycine. But all have only one meaning. They are synonymous with each other. But all have same meaning. So that is what unambiguous. There is no confusion. One will have one meaning. But synonymous can be meaning. Non-overlapping. It is very easy. One sentence will have no overlap of word. That is what it says. A non-punctuated, one whole, if mRNA is a one sentence, a whole mRNA is a one sentence. And that is why you don't find a punctuation generally. Actually, comma is there, but in our sentence, but in this sentence, there is no punctuation. The continuous repeat three letters are there. And that three letters will be continuous. There is no punctuation. No stop. There is no extra codon. That is, maybe say this is three letter. There, the punctuation cannot be one letter in between and then again three letter. So there cannot be any punctuation. This is continuous. So non-punctuated, and this is universal. Universal means from bacteria to plant to animal. These codons are the same codon will code for same amino acid. So that is the universal principle of universality. Do you understand this 5 principles, 5 features of this genetic code? Maybe one, you can add one features here, like 3 letter, it are 3 letter word. So it makes 6 features. Did you understand these 6 features?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first is, you can remember synonyms. Okay, means degenerate. So you can remember this by mnemonics, DU and NU. Non-overlapping, non-punctuated, universality, and then unambiguous, and then D for degenerate. So many synonyms, but one meaning, and then no confusion. Unambiguous means always one word, only one meaning, no two meaning. One word, one meaning. Many synonyms, degenerate. One word, always one meaning. There is never two meaning. Many words can have one meaning. One word, always one meaning. So this is two, might be confusing. Degenerate. So always many words, one meaning. One words and always one meaning. So that is how you can. And these are non-overlapping, non-punctuated, universal. These are very easy to remember. So degenerate and unambiguous. These two are degenerate and unambiguous. So 5 letters and one meaning. You can see this. You can see degeneracy of codon. So you can see degeneracy of codon here. Can you see the serine? This is serine. Serine amino acid, you have got this 5 codon for this serine. Not only 5 codon. Here you can see 2 more codon. So 6 codon code for this serine. Can you see this? 6 codon codes for a serine. Proline, you can see this for proline. 4 codons are for proline. But this codon also means protein. Proline, this meaning is only one. This also meaning proline. This is also the meaning of this also proline. This meaning of this also proline. So you can see here, this is called degenerate. many synonyms for one meaning. These are meaning. This is called degenerate. Did you understand? Tell me.
Yeah.
Now, how do you make this codon table? So you just draw this chart, okay? Draw this box. Put up 4 row, 4 row, and then 4 column. 4 rows and 4 columns. So you remember one very you can. So you can, in place of n, you can replace g. So you can remember like you can. So in place of n, you can replace g. So you write this you can everywhere, from the top to bottom, and like this. So you can. You, sorry, can. You, and then at the back of this, write you can every section, at every row. You can. You can. You can. You can. So you can easily get this. Here, what do you get? First, this is first, this is second, and this is third. So what do you get? You, and you. Here you get first, second is you, and third is C. U, A, U, G. Then here also C, U, C, U, C, C, U, A, C, U, G. So remember at least this coding. So if you remember this, now it is here. You can see here. So this is not written here, but U, C, A, G. You can imagine U, C, A, G. You see. Now you. So this is how codon is written here. Now, if you can remember some amino acid for longer period, you can remember amino acids here. If you remember chart, if you see this chart many times, you will be able to remember amino acid. Now, I'm not going to give you right now memory tricks for memorizing amino acid, because it is not that necessary to remember you the codons and amino acid right now. Just remember 4 codon only. 4 codon is for what? C. C is 3 letter, and C 3 letter, 3C. 3 means pro. So you can remember proline is for CCC. And then U is for phenylalanine. And then G for glycine, this glycine. And A for lysine. Will you remember this 4 codon? Meaning of this 4 codon?
Yeah.
That is sufficient for the timing, okay? At least remember this 4. And you remember this, you can see. In all branch chain amino acid, the between letters are U. Here you can see. All acidic and basic amino acid, the middle base is A. This is also acidic. Glutamate is aspartate. And acidic, basic, and amide. Amino acid has A in between. So you can use that trick, but I'm not going to talk more detail. I'm concerned about this start codon. So let's see this. Genetic code is degenerate, you know. So synonyms for codon you already know. And only one codon for these two. Methionine and tryptophan has only one codon. UGG for tryptophan and this AUG for methionine. Synonyms codon are not positioned randomly, but grouped into table. You can see they are grouped into table. So proline will code for this. 4 will code for this proline. And the 6 for serine and 6 for arginine. Arginine and serine will arginine 6 and serine 6. Serine 6. Arginine, serine, you can say 6. Arginine also 6. Now, Here you can see leucine 4, proline 4, threonine 4, alanine 4, valine 4, leucine 3, leucine also 6, 5, leucine 5. So you can see leucine 5, 3 plus 2. Sorry, not 5. This is leucine. Leucine is for 6. Leucine is 6. Isoleucine is 3. Leucine is 6. Isoleucine is 3. So this is how you can see degeneracy. Now let's see this. So genetic codon are non-overlapping. This is not that difficult to understand. You can understand it yourself. They are not. 3 will code for only one, and then next codon start after that 3. This is called non-overlapping. Now let's talk about this initiation. This AUG is always initiation codon. Okay, AUG is always initiation codon. So A, you can see A is start letter in alphabet of English alphabet also, so that you can understand. A is start letter. So A, then UG. AUG is start codon. So AUG start codon, and this code for methionine. Remember this. And sometimes GUG can also code for start codon in some especially in bacteria. And this GUG is what? Valine. So valine, sometimes valine becomes the start amino acid, and generally methionine is the start amino acid. So this is initiator codon, and you see these are stop codon. There are 3 stop codon, and this stop codon, when in RNA, when this type of 3 codon UAA, UAG and UGA comes, then what happens? There will be termination. With this stop codon, tRNA will not bind, rather protein will bind. So we will talk about this termination when we talk about translation. Just for the time being, remember these are termination codon, and this is initiator codon. So you can see this termination codon is called nonsense codon. This is called termination codon, stop codon. These are stop codon 3. These are called nonsense codon. This is start codon or initiator codon. These are called initiator codon. You can see this 3 codon out of 64 means 64 minus 3. 61 codon will code for amino acids, and 3 will code for protein, last protein. The tRNA will not bind with this, so this will not code for. So you can see what is the last letter in this UCAS. What is the last letter here you find in this 4 base? Tell me, which is the last letter in alphabet of English alphabet, A to Z alphabet? In this 4,
G.
It is not G. Isn't U last letter among this all?
Oh, okay.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, in that way.
Yeah, in that interpretation, yeah.
Yes, U is the last. So here you can see the stop codon will start, all stop codon will start with U. So this is a trick you can remember, stop codon. So all this stop codon will have U. Did you understand? Start codon will start with A, and A, UG. Augmentation, you can see augmentation means start, augmentation. Just start, you can remember augmentation like start. And here U is the stop codon will start with U, and their nucleotide will be there. Purine will be there. UAA in place of, and then AG or GA. So it is very easy. There is no pyrimidine here. Purine, all pure. UAA, UGA, UAG. So will you remember stop codon, start codon, and these 4 codons? Okay. So you will understand. And if you see A in the between anywhere, except stop codon if you see A here. So these are all acid, base or amide amino acid. You can see histidine is basic amino acid. This is glutamine is amide, asparagine is amide, lysine is basic amino acid. Those two are basic amino acid, and then aspartate and glutamate. These two are acidic amino acid. So A in the middle of acidic amino acid. So but except what start with U. So U, when some codon start with UA, so you will see they are not acidic or basic. You can use your own trick. Now you understood this nonsense. Now nearly universal. Why it is called nearly universal? From bacteria to eukaryotes. This is actually all code has only one meaning. All codon will have only one meaning, except few. For example, our own mitochondria. Our own mitochondria are different. Our own mitochondria have a different type of this. So you can see here these two UAA and UGA. These two are stop codon everywhere in mitochondria, but this was stop codon here. Can you see stop codon here? But this is stop codon code for tryptophan in mitochondria. So this is one exception here. Now here you can see this code for arginine here. Can you see this code for arginine? So you can see this code for stop codon here. You can trip replace stop, trip replace stop, then stop replace argon, trip replace stop, stop replace tryptophan, replace this stop codon replace this arginine, 2-arginine. You can also remember Ag is arginine, AGA, AGG. So these two are replaced by arginine. So this is exception. Now one more. Here this code for leucine, but here in tRNA it code for methionine. So that is why it is called near universal. Rest are similar. All code for all from plant to bacteria. They all code for same amino acid. From bacteria to mammal. From even mitochondria also. All code for same except few. So that is why we call it near universal. Did you understand this? Did you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have understood. We have now understood that there are 61 codon. Okay, there are 61 codon that code for 20 proteins. And do you know, these 20 protons actually will be recognized by 31 amino acids, 31 tRNA. In our body, we have 31 tRNA. In mitochondria, 22 tRNA. And that is why there is a difference in base. There is a little bit differences. Some arginine was coded by arginine codon for arginine code for stop codon, and stop codon code for tryptophan, isolation code for methionine. And that is why that happens in tRNA. So let's not talk about tRNA. Let's talk about our own genome. So here you can see 61 codon code for protein, but 61 codon is read by 31 tRNA. And then this 31 tRNA will actually 31 tRNA will actually carry 20 amino acids. Did you understand this? So we have 61 codon, that is read by, our body has 31 tRNA, and that means 61 codon is read by, 61 codons are read by this 31 RNAs, tRNAs, and this 31 tRNAs, as we know, our protein has 20 amino acid, will carry 20 amino acid. So this is understood. Okay. So actually, scientific finding will start with what? So first, how? Then they are asked the question why? How? So the people will find this. Okay, 61 codon will be deciphered by or read by 31 tRNA. But how? How this 31 tRNA will 31, only 31. If there is 61 codon, there should be 61 tRNA. It would be simple. One codon, one tRNA. But how does this 31 tRNA read this 61 codon? How do this 31 tRNA is read 61 codons? If conceptually there should be 61 tRNAs, that should be reading 61 codons. But what is in reality, what is there in our body? 61 codon is read by 61 codons are read by 31 tRNAs. So how does it happen in our body? Now answer to this question is Weibull base pair. Did you understand what is? Do you know what is Weibull means? English meaning Weibull means wobble. Can anyone tell me? If there is any native speaker, English speaker, wobble. Yes.
When something is unstable.
Unstable, very good. Unstable. That is not steady. That is not steady. That is like tilting this side, that side. That is wobble. So this is called Weibull base pair. This other meaning is adjustment. You can see adjustment. Adjustment base pairing. So this adjustment base pairing is the answer for this question. How this 31 tRNAs read this 61 codon. So this is the answer for this. Now what happens? We have seen A will base pair with which codon, which nucleotide? A will actually form
C.
A will
C.
form not C. U
C.
or T.
C.
In DNA T, in RNA U. And then G will base pair with C. But this is called Watson-Crick base pairing. This is called normal base Watson-Crick. Watson-Crick base pairing. So this base pairing was discovered by Watson-Crick. They got Nobel Prize also for this. Actually, Chargaffs gave this rule, but they actually they gave the how this two base form the hydrogen bond. They actually proposed that, and because of that, they actually formed a double helical model, and they got Nobel Prize. Now the Crick scientists later they answered this question through this question was answered by this particular man. This answered this question like how does this 61 codon read by 31 tRNA? He answered. He tell them he called it is a Weibull. It is because of Weibull base pairing. Now let's talk about how this Weibull base pairing happens. So now I have already explained this 61, but 31. How do they adjust? So answer is Weibull phenomenon. Weibull base pairing. Now rules for base pairing are relaxed. So there is flexible type of base pairing at the third position of tRNA. At third position. Okay. At third position of actually third means third position of mRNA. At third position of mRNA means first position of tRNA. First position of anticodon of tRNA. So this first position of anticodon will have generally they have an inosine. They found inosine at this position, at first position of anticodon, that is third position of tRNA, that bind with the third position of tRNA, third position of mRNA. Did you understand this? This first position has generally inosine. This inosine can make base pairing with these three bases. Inosine can make base pair with U, C, and A. So you can see here U, C, and A. Now you can see here in this nucleotide. So if at first position of anticodon or third position of codon can make base pair with U, C, and A. So what happens? So these three can be recognized by only one codon, anticodon. What is that anticodon? In place of U, there is inosine. In place of C, there will be G. And in place of other C, there is G. So the tRNA that contains this anticodon, this IgG anticodon, can bind with all these three. Did you understand this? Tell me.
Yeah.
Here you can see this. This UCA will be recognized by I. UCA will be recognized by this inosine. And when it base pair with this, so what happens? For this three codon, only one tRNA is required. 3 codon, 1 tRNA. So did you understand? So while tRNA, less number of tRNA can read 61, 31 tRNA can read, 31 tRNA can read 61 codon. So this is one explanation. Now, did you understand? Now, this is one reason. So second reason, you can see this is non-traditional base pair. I told you, verbal means adjustment. So you can see this adjustment, you can see it. So here you can see how does this base pair. Though, okay, C will base pair with G, that is done. So this is anticodon, this anticodon tRNA. This is tRNA part. tRNA, it will form with this. And this tRNA A will also form with U of mRNA. That is done, no problem. But I can form with 3 mRNA. It will recognize 3 bases of mRNA. And U has capability to recognize 2. And this G also has capability to recognize 2. So this is how you can see this. Here, inosine can form bond with adenosine. Inosine can form bond with little bit shift. The base will shift, and with adjustment, it will form bond with uracil with cytosine. Can you see? Here, and then this uracil, guanine can also form. Guanine generally form with what? Cytosine. But guanine here can also form bond with uracil also. And uracil can also form with guanine. So that is how this base pairing, one nucleotide at this position here at the first position, because this is 5 prime. You can, if you remember, this numbering should be done 5 to 3. So this is the first anticodon. This is third codon. This first anticodon will have a different type of bases. Because of this, one tRNA can bind more than one codon. So this Wobble phenomenon explain how this is just answer for this question, how this 61 codons are read by 31 tRNA. So you can see from this also, I have given the same example, UCA. This is recognized by IgG, anticodon. And this will be one more will be required for GG, U or GG, C will be required for this. That's it. So this is the answer for the question. Now, if you have understood this codon, we will have hypothesis. Now, next class we will talk about translation process. Okay. So translation process. This is the we start with the differences between translation of bacteria and eukaryote, prokaryote and eukaryote. Actually, the translation process, many of the processes are similar. As we have seen transcription, they are very similar, only they are different in the complexity. Same here you will find these two processes, eukaryotic and prokaryotic translation, they are different more in complexity. Okay, complexity. Generally, you will find this amino acid actually code decoding is very relaxed in eukaryote. Okay, number of base pair addition. So all transcription, translation, and replication, these all processes are more relaxed in eukaryote. So number of base pair per second, base addition per second will be lesser. Number of amino acid addition per second will be lesser in eukaryote than prokaryote. So more relaxed and more sophisticated. Okay, more relaxed and more sophisticated. As you know, this if you the CEO of any company need to be very relaxed. Okay, and they are very sophisticated. So this eukaryotic machinery is sophisticated. More proteins are required and very relaxed process. So did you understand? And that is why if something is relaxed, so what happens is accuracy increases. Relaxation is because of accuracy. So this sophistication and relaxation is to increase accuracy. So this big two differences are the main differences everywhere. Even it is replication, transcription, translation. Here is the same thing you will see here. Same type of differences. The differences based on these two principles. Sophistication, more proteins, more sophisticated, and then second is relaxed. So did you understand up to this? Only till now we did codon. We talked about codon. Features of codon. We discussed features of codon. And then second thing, vowel. We answered one question. How this 61 read by 31? Vowel phenomenon. So we talked about features and vowel. That's it we did today. So this translation process is very similar to transcription in the processes, stages. You will find here initiation, elongation, termination. One more thing, recycling. So 4 stages will be there. We will talk about these stages tomorrow. So did you all understand?
Yes, sir.
So